Okay, welcome back to another update on the Simjack Pro pedals. Now I am 9 months in of using these. I use them practically every day for sometimes several hours a day, and I have to say I am still as impressed as I was from the first few videos and using of these pedals. They're really good, especially for the value for money. Now, the last few months, I've been using Rce Engineering, Hawkeng, Elastomers. I prefer a softer brake pedal, and I've had some good success with those. Very happy. I did see also online that there is a new brake performance kit by a company called Rce Sim Engineering. And what really interested me with this kit is the fact that it's basically available in the UK, which is where I'm based, and I don't have to import anything complicated from Europe. It was also a good price, and I think it also addressed one of the main issues with the pedal, which is the preload spring. Okay, so I've been using the Hawkeng Elastomers. I prefer a soft pedal. I was quite happy with the original stock setup. But one of the areas that I really didn't like was the stock preload spring. This is quite thin, quite weak, as you can see. It's quite easy just to squeeze and compress. And there's obviously quite a lot of travel here as well, which is really noticeable when you first press down the pedal itself. So I saw online that a company called Rce Sim Engineering, based in the UK, had made a performance kit for the Simjack pedals, and the performance kit consists of a few different things. First of all, a new preload spring, which, as you can see, is significantly wider in diameter. It's also a little bit shorter. This comes in at around 25 millimeters as opposed to the original, which is 30. To go along with this new preload spring, there are also 2 spring seats, and you use the original spring seat from the original preload spring as an adapter to fit inside and make sure it fits on the shaft of the pedals quite nicely. So if we just take a look at these, obviously there's a very different visual difference. Higher gauge wire for a start as well, and if I just squeeze down, let's do it with the same hand just to be sure. So if I squeeze down, quite easy to compress this one. The new one, yeah, not so easy. I really have to use all my strength to get it to compress, even maybe 50-60%. That also, it makes a big difference in that first initial brake application, so that's really good. Also, as part of the Rce Sim Engineering, they also do different elastomers. They do a black 70 Shore, which is a little bit stiffer, I think, than the originals from the Simjacks. And they also do a 80 Shore as well. Now, the 80 Shore for me, I honestly think is too much. I think we've discussed in the past, there are different setup characteristics that mean your setup might be easier to press the pedal or more difficult. I use a pedal plate, but I don't use a heel plate. So when I press the pedal, my pedal, I don't get quite as much leverage on the pedal plate, on the pedal face, as probably you would if you have your heel raised slightly above your pedal plate. So it's harder for me to press the brake pedal anyway. And with that hardness means that I probably didn't mind so much the stock elastomers, which most people sometimes think are too soft. But I've been using these 70As now, and they feel okay. It's reduced down the travel quite a lot. Now, what I'm gonna do, I think, for me, the perfect kind of setup will be to tweak this. So when we have the system all set up, I will probably use 1 or 2 of the new 70A elastomers, but I'm going to use the Hawkeng ones as well to create more of a progressive feel. So I may go for a 55 or a 60 Hawkeng and then use the 70 as well. So I'm going to use these to tune the brake kit to my preference. But overall, this itself makes the big difference as well, the preload spring. This makes even the stock pedals feel much better. And again, if you tailor these with a set of elastomers that you want to use or suit your preference, I think you'll really get a nice brake system for you. Quick one difference, if we look at the elastomers that come with this set, there are 3 and they're all the same size, which I think is 25mm long. Yeah. Now I think on the stock Simjacks, they were different. There was one at 25, one at 20, and then I think, well, certainly all mine were slightly different sizes. In the total, I ended up with a stack height of 60mm, where obviously these are going to be a stack height of 3 by 25mm, so 75mm. If we then take a look at the housing and things as well, it's also a little bit taller, but not much, but a little bit taller than the stock preload spring. So the overall length of your elastomers plus your preload spring is a little bit longer than stock, but it still fits perfectly fine on the shaft of the pedal itself. I even also, just for safety reasons, I just put a small washer like originals between the elastomer stack, just to protect them from moving around or being squashed too much as well. Okay, so I'll put a link to the RSE webpage below. The kit itself, reasonably priced. You can buy individual items, which I think is a really good idea. You know, the preload spring and the spring seats themselves are, I think it's £11, so around about €13. The elastomers are available each for around about €6 as well. So you can tune to whatever you want to get this to. Okay, so that's it. So summarise, I'm very happy with the pedals 9 months on. Really impressed. Small modifications also made things better. So please remember to subscribe, and I'll be back in a few months with another update and maybe even some more mods. Thanks, bye.